Hey guys, confession number 5. I just wanted to start by thanking everybody who has been following my video journey so far. I really appreciate it so much. I've received a lot of support from a lot of different people, and I've had a few people share my videos as well. So I'm very thankful for that support. And if anyone does feel that some of the videos that I'm doing would be of value to anyone in your life, in your circle of friends or family, whatever it might be, feel free to share it if you feel called to, because I'll be doing lots and lots of videos over the coming weeks and months, sharing all the different breakthroughs, realizations, things that I've discovered on my journey with timeline therapy, hypnotherapy, and I really do believe that it will help a lot of people and help people realize things within themselves that they never even considered. So that's why I'm here. So today's video is actually on something I very briefly touched on in my last video, and it's actually about when we feel triggered. When we feel triggered by people in our life or things that happen. You know, we often think we feel triggered by something someone does because it's them, because they're the one in fault, because they're annoying, because they're arrogant, because they're, you know, X, Y, Z. But the truth is, when we feel triggered by someone or something that happens, it's actually shining a light on an area of ourselves that need healing. Because if you think about it this way, you know, someone who's completely loving and they completely love themselves, they truly love themselves. When you truly love yourself, you cannot perceive anything other than from the lens of love, because that's all you are. And if you fully accept yourself and you don't judge yourself, and you know, you accept every part of you, you will only perceive through that lens, through that lens of acceptance, that lens of love, that lens of non-judgment. But if you, within yourself, you're judging yourself, you don't like your body, you think you're not good enough, you're going to start perceiving the world from that lens. So I'll give you an example. Say, for example, you don't feel good in your body. And this is actually an example that I've discovered recently with one of my clients. So they were not happy with their body, and therefore they looked through that lens and they looked at women wearing, you know, specific types of clothes, and they'd be like, oh, how could they wear that? They look fat in that, and, you know, X, Y, Z. When in reality, they're projecting their own insecurities through that lens because they don't feel that they would be confident in that outfit. And they question, how can that person feel confident in that outfit when I wouldn't feel confident in that outfit? And when my body looks like this? Or say, for example, you know, someone who doesn't feel that they're smart enough. They might look at other people who are quite smart, and they'll be like, you know, that person is so cocky, or they're so arrogant. Like, look at the way they're you know, doing maths, they're a geek, you know. They'll put negative meanings on that person because they're looking at it through the lens of who they are and where they are. So notice when you feel triggered by someone, you're feeling triggered because there's something within yourself that you don't accept, that you don't love, and this person is shining a light on that. And the other thing I'll say about this, just to sort of take it into sort of a slightly different direction, you feel triggered by something. This is a very surface level thing. You know, we think this is it, but it's never the case. It's a surface level problem, and it actually stems from a deep rooted unconscious belief or fear. And the belief or fear can be something like, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, fear of abandonment, fear of failure, fear of success. It can be so many different things. And this belief is more than likely formed when you're between the ages of 0 and 7. Because when we're between those ages, this is when, you know, we're little sponges and we just absorb everything. We put meanings on everything, and we put these meanings on these different things that happen based on our very limited experience of life experience. So essentially, as adults, we're basically living out the beliefs of a child without even realizing it. The beliefs that we form as children play out throughout our entire life. Now, when we when we can discover, so we've got the surface level problem, when we discover the root cause, the root belief, the root fear that's coming, that's rooted down the bottom, once we discover what this is and we heal it and we release it, all of these surface level problems that are manifested from this root cause, all of them disappear. It's profound. It's profound what can happen when you use the guiding light that these triggers, these people that you might have a fight with, you feel triggered by them, shining a light on an area of yourself that needs healing. You shift your focus from the fact that you're triggered and shift it within. Find what wound they're shining a light on and heal that. It will have a ripple effect in your life and create radical transformation in multiple areas of your life. And I'm going to use a specific example, something that I've discovered in my own life from a trigger that I had, which created massive, profound impact in my own life. So one of the exercises that we do with our clients is we actually ask them a series of questions. So they come to us with a presenting surface level problem, which they believe is the problem. But we take them through the series of questions, which will basically take them deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into their unconscious mind until we get to the root cause, the root belief, the root fear. And often when we discover what the root fear and the root belief is that's causing these problems, initially we're like, whoa, like it's something you would never have even expected that you even had that belief. But as soon as you realize, you identify that belief, you're like, wow, okay, I can definitely see how that plays out in my life and how it has basically been a pattern. So we take our clients through this exercise, we discover the root cause, and then through a process of timeline therapy, we release that belief that doesn't serve them, that's causing all these problems. So from my experience, I went to this exercise to go through the questions, discover the root cause. And the surface level problem that I went into the exercise with was I wanted to know what the root cause of me feeling so triggered by certain people in my life who question the personal development journey that I'm on, saying that it's a scam, that I'm wasting my money, asking me when I'm going to make money from this, and just projecting all of their doubt and fear onto me, and ultimately comes from a place of love because they care about me. So that's totally fine. So I wanted to find the root cause of this trigger. And through this process of going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper, I discovered the root cause of this trigger is that I don't feel that I'm smart enough to be successful. And that's why when they say all these things, I feel so triggered, because what it's actually bringing out in me is feeling like they're telling me that I'm stupid, that I'm not smart enough to make my own decisions, that I'm not smart enough to determine whether I'm getting involved in a scam or not, them not believing I'm smart enough to be successful ultimately, because they're asking questions like, when are you going to start making money from this? So this is all unconscious, but as soon as I realized that the root cause was that I don't feel that I'm smart enough to be successful. It's not even about them not thinking I'm smart enough. I'm basically projecting my insecurity onto them, thinking that they're telling me that I'm not smart enough, when ultimately it's my fear, it's my belief that I'm not smart enough. And as soon as I realized that the root cause of that trigger is the belief that I'm not smart enough to be successful, I was like, wow, yes, okay, that makes complete sense. Like, I can definitely see how I have that belief on an unconscious level, and I can see how that plays out in my life. Because, I've mentioned in a previous video that I had a blockage around completing things. That was one self-sabotaging pattern that I had. There was another thing that's been playing out in my life where I don't get too involved in projects and things because, well, ultimately it comes to the belief that I don't feel like I'm smart enough to be successful anyway, so why bother? So once I discovered the root cause, the root belief, the thing that was underlying this surface level problem, I then went into timeline therapy to release this belief. So in timeline therapy, we ask the client, we actually ask the unconscious mind directly. We ask the unconscious mind of the client, what is the root cause of this belief? The first event that caused this belief. And so when I was asked this question, my unconscious mind went back to a memory of being 4 years old. And this is a memory that I don't even consciously remember, but this is what my unconscious mind brought me to for resolution. And the memory was me being 4 years old. When I first started school, I was in a classroom, and I don't know what we were working on, whether it was like maths or English or whatever it was, but as a 4-year-old, I was looking around the classroom at all the other children, and they knew what they were doing. They were just doing the work, and they were getting it done, and they were confident in what they were doing, or seemingly from my perception. And for me, I didn't know what I was doing at all. I had no idea what was going on. And so in that moment, I made the decision that I'm not smart enough to be successful. I made the decision when I was 4 years old, and that's just played out my entire life. So when you make a decision, especially when you make an unconscious decision, what ends up happening is your unconscious mind starts looking for evidence to prove that decision as correct, and it will completely disregard any evidence that proves otherwise. So from 4 years old, I was moving through life with that lens, looking for evidence to prove that I'm not smart enough to be successful. And this can actually this belief can actually go in different directions. So, for some people, they might have the belief that they're not smart enough to be successful when they're children. And the way that plays out is they spend their entire life trying to prove to everyone how smart they are. So they're overcompensating for that insecurity. And the overcompensation happens a lot. So if somebody's trying to show everybody how confident they are, that will often stem from the deep belief that they're not good enough, or they're not confident. Or people that are very competitive, can stem from that deep belief that they're not good enough because of something that happened in their life. These are just examples. Everybody sort of responds in different ways to these beliefs. So for me, I didn't overcompensate and try to show everybody how smart I was. I went in the other direction. I basically accepted that this was my identity. My identity is that I'm not smart enough to be successful. And as a result, I basically went through my entire school education in all of the classes for children that are slower, like intellectually slower. My favorite subject in school was French. I was taken out of that class and basically put into the slower kids class to catch up on maths and science and geography and whatever it was. And that was basically my entire education. And then on top of that, throughout school, they're telling you got to get good grades, you've got to do this, you've got to do that to be successful in life. And when you're in your last year of school, they put so much emphasis on that last exam. You've got to do well at that exam. You've got to succeed at the exam so that you can succeed at life. And surely enough, because I had the belief that I'm not smart enough to be successful, I didn't do very well in my final exam. And just constantly reconfirming on an unconscious level, it's always unconscious, reconfirming the belief that I'm not smart enough to be successful. Now, with timeline therapy, what's so powerful about timeline therapy is, we go back to the root cause where a belief was formed, and then the therapist will ask the client's unconscious mind, what are the learnings you need to learn at the unconscious level to let go of the belief XYZ easily and effortlessly? So when I was asked this question, the thing about timeline therapy is it really taps into your inner wisdom. Your unconscious mind is your inner wisdom. Your unconscious mind knows everything about you, and it knows everything that you need to know to create the life that you ultimately want to live. So my unconscious mind, the wisdom that my unconscious mind came out with was that I don't need the subjects in school to be successful in the path that I want to take. I don't need geography. I don't need science. I don't even need French. I don't need any of those subjects. And everything that I need to be successful in my field, I actually have within me. And so my unconscious mind started listing all of the qualities that I do have that will help me be successful in my field. And that's things like I have compassion, I'm loving, I'm accepting, I'm non-judgmental, I have a genuine appreciation and curiosity for people and care. I'm okay to jump on camera. I'm fearless with money. And the way the fearlessness with money plays out is I'm all about investing in myself and learning and growing and transforming so that I can better serve others. And I'm a fearless warrior, like all these different qualities. My unconscious mind was coming out with, telling me, these are the qualities that you need to be successful in your field. And these are the qualities you have. You can be successful. It's within reach for you now. And so, and what's amazing as well with timeline therapy is as your unconscious mind, starts coming out with all this wisdom and you start, verbalizing them and saying them, these beliefs are being programmed into your mind. They're being embedded. So your old beliefs that don't serve you, that completely diminishes, and that belief then gets replaced with all these empowering beliefs that are actually true of you. Your inner wisdom knows the truth about you, and we forget the truth because we go through life absorbing our environment and we just get completely separated from the truth. So I came out of that session completely a changed person, really, because I realized, wow, yes, I have everything I need to be successful within me. I can be successful now. All I need to do is keep taking the steps, and I will not fail as long as I never give up, and I will never give up. So that changed everything for me. And this is just an example. When you discover the root cause, you take your triggers as a shining light, shining a light on the areas of yourself that need healing. Shift your awareness from the trigger, shift it onto yourself, on the area of yourself that needs healing. Discover that root cause and release it. It will change every aspect of your life, because that root cause is actually causing all these different problems in your life that you don't even know. And that's why, like, the work that I've been doing with timeline therapy has been so transformational, because essentially what I've been doing is I've been digging really, really deep into my unconscious mind. I've been discovering like all the beliefs, all the programming, all the patterns, all the fears, all the things that I've collected throughout my life that don't serve me. And often these beliefs and these triggers and these programs and these things were developed when I was between the ages of 0 and 7. I was a child. And as a child, I basically decided what my entire life was going to be like. So this journey has just been about, stripping away all these beliefs and fears and programming and patterns. And each time I release these, it's like I grow a little more, and I have more realizations, and the way that, just different things like that. So it's very transformational work, and all we really need to do is use our triggers as a guiding light and not get lost into how annoyed we are by the trigger, because we're depriving ourselves from growth that's within reach for us now. Okay, so I hope this video was of value. Once again, if you do feel called to share any of my videos, please do. I'd love to help as many people as I possibly can. So thanks for watching. I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.